on CTV News at 5.
I was tracking it every day because when it started bouncing around and not continuing to move forward, then I really did start getting nervous that it was going to get lost.
Holiday holdups. The Christmas clock is ticking. Are your packages keeping up?
People can show up, they can get and take whatever they want, no questions asked, we don't ask for anybody's names.
Free for all, a local store where you pay nothing but leave with a lot.
I think we're really going to be surprised at our grand total this year.
Christmas Daddies, we've got 750,000 reasons to say thank you.
A cold northwest wind blows across the region tonight, a risk of snow squalls in a few areas with it.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Katie Kelly. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, parcel pressure. The holiday countdown is on and so are shipping problems. From paperwork issues to cross-border delays, there's a lot that could go wrong. And as CTV's Emma Convey shows us, for some Maritimers, it already has. Emma.
That's right, Katie. It's go time for shipping companies and courier companies as they ramp up for deliveries across Canada and beyond. They say they are ready, but some Maritimers disagree. Holly Salzman has spent months trying to send a care package to her daughter in Missouri. She's out $160 and the parcel is still in her living room.
I was hoping for it to be there well before Christmas. It wasn't just Christmas things. There were actually our family pictures from when she came up and visited us. She only comes up once a year. Her baby book is in there, so when it was taking longer and longer, I was getting a little nervous about that it was going to get lost.
She says the issue began when FedEx requested more forms and information. Every time she sent them, something else seemed to be missing.
Closest it got was New York, where it was there for almost a week, and I kept following up every day saying, I'm not seeing movement on this. Are you missing anything? Do you need anything? They said, no, it's been cleared customs. It's cleared customs. It's on the way.
Days later, the package was returned to her doorstep. Now she's waiting to send it again until the holiday shipping rush settles. FedEx wasn't available for an interview today, but in an email, the company said, we continue to streamline the network to better handle large packages. We're focused on maximizing efficiencies while meeting transit times and service standards. Canada Post also responded in writing. Canada Post continues to manage its operations and network. Commercial volumes are flowing, items can be inducted, pickups are underway, and we continue to process and deliver new items safely and quickly as we manage our network. As for local businesses,
we don't necessarily know exactly when everybody's getting our orders as much as we know when I've ordered a product and when I'm going to get it. That part's been a bit delayed.
Local delivery companies say they're doing what they can to keep parcels on schedule.
We've definitely seen some pickup this year compared to last year. Again, people want to make sure that their packages are going to get there when they want to get them there without interruption.
The best advice from all parties, shipping companies as well as local businesses, is to get orders in early because backlog obviously can happen, Katie, when tons of orders come in all at once and late into the holiday season. Katie.
Thank you so much, Emma. CTV's Emma Convey for us in our Halifax newsroom tonight, and that does bring us to tonight's web poll. We are asking, how are you shipping packages this holiday season? Your options are Canada Post, private courier service, or I'm not shipping any packages. You can go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca to weigh in and to see our latest poll results. Todd Battis joins us now with a preview of CTV News at 6. Todd.
No delay in delivering the news, Katie. Got it right here. Coming up at 6, the daughter of a New Brunswick Highway Patrol officer killed in the line of duty in 1987 says the man convicted in his death has been granted parole and that he's also being deported back to the United States. Coming up at 6 o'clock, Valerie Coyne says the decision has left her family disappointed. We will hear from her. Halifax water crews have fixed a water main break in the Waverley Road area in Dartmouth. This happened on the weekend, and some locals were without water. About 2,000 people have to boil their water tonight, still as a precaution. We will get the latest on what's going on here. Bitter temperatures and plenty of snow were on tap for the Maritimes today. Another snow day for lots of students around our region. In Cape Breton, the latest blast of wintry weather closed City Hall, canceled ferry services. We'll get a rundown on All of that from our Ryan McDonald at 6 o'clock. Kayla Mitchell has the numbers to prove just how chilly that blast of winter has been.
Oh, it is cold following up in behind that snow, that's for sure. And we're headed into a very cold night for the region. That is by early December standards. We'll be talking more about that. The snow, in a lot of cases, Nova Scotia, parts of PEI, southern half of New Brunswick, a few to several centimeters. There were some pockets, 10 to 20 centimeters of snow, including around the southwest New Brunswick, parts of the Annapolis Valley in Nova Scotia, parts of the North Shore of that province, and I'm sure locations in Cape Breton as well. All these snowfall reports, by the way, preliminary and unofficial at this point in time. Temperatures right now, as you can see in Nova Scotia, mostly in the range around -5 to -10. -10 already in Prince Edward Island and for New Brunswick. Temperatures right now between -10 and -13. Wind chill is going to be a factor for tonight as well, as this blustery northwest wind continues on. It's being sustained right now. A lot of cases 15 to 30 kilometers per hour. Some coastal stations in the east of Nova Scotia reporting some sustained winds between 40 and 50 and some higher wind gusts getting up between 60 and 70 kilometers per hour. Over on radar and satellite, as that cold northwest wind is coming in off the Gulf of St. Lawrence and the Northumberland Strait, it is creating a risk of snow squalls around the north shore of mainland Nova Scotia, locations in Cape Breton. The system itself continues to strengthen and is becoming more of a full-blown winter storm as it's making its way across parts of Newfoundland. And they do have a winter storm warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland, including up towards the Bonavista Peninsula. The Avalon Peninsula is underneath a wind warning, and there's extensive blowing snow advisories in effect for Newfoundland as well. For us here in the Maritimes, the concern is the cold and the potential for those snow squalls. So snow squall watches out for Pictou and Antigonish counties and across Cape Breton. Of course, we'll have more in the forecast when I'm back a little bit later on. Katie.
Thank you, Kaylin. This weekend marked a solemn day of remembrance commemorating the Halifax explosion 108 years later. CTV's Callum Smith went to Fort Needham Memorial Park, where people gathered to honor those lost and the resilience that has defined the city and communities across North America.
On December 6, 1917, Halifax faced one of the darkest moments in its history. In a single, devastating instant, the Halifax explosion shattered homes, families, and entire neighborhoods.
108 years later, people have friends, family, and neighbors in mind. About 2,000 died and 9,000 injured.
I'm here to remember my great-grandfather. He survived the explosion as a 2-year-old, but he was completely blinded by the glass from his window, so just to keep his memory alive.
A time to reflect on the devastation.
The shock was felt across Cape Breton and Prince Edward Island. Halifax endured not only the explosion, but a tsunami, widespread fires, and a blizzard the next day.
Tragedy struck after the French munitions ship Mont Blanc collided with Norwegian relief ship Emo. The chaotic scene
soon attracting people to this very hill to watch the fire, to the length of Barrington Street to watch this drifting, burning ship that nobody knew was packed stem to stern with explosive.
First responders, volunteers, and everyday people stepped up with doctors, nurses, and medical supplies arriving on trains.
Every year, as we think about sort of thanking people in places like Boston and New York, we should also kind of remember the fellow Nova Scotians and people from New Brunswick who came on that day when Halifax needed its help more than any other time.
More than a century later, people of all ages taking it all in.
To learn about the history of my city.
This was a remarkable tragedy, but I think more importantly a story of resilience, how the city managed to rebuild itself.
People here pleased to see the community come together.
For a long time there was very little said about the explosion. I think people tried just not to talk about it because it was so painful, but it's an important part of the history of this city.
Ensuring that moment and the families and communities devastated will never be forgotten. Callum Smith, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you so much for that, Callum. We're going to take a short break here on CTV News at 5. Coming up, though, we have another brand new contest to tell you about. Are you still looking for that perfect present? Well, CTV and Charm Diamond Setters want to help you with that. Details about how you can give the gift of charm coming up next.
Share the joy this holiday season.
Drop off a new unwrapped toy at our live broadcast December 11th. Canadian Tire Dartmouth Crossing, and December 12th, Canadian Tire in Bears Lake.
Your donation will help families across HRM this Christmas.
Welcome back. Well, CTV and Charm Diamond Centers want to help you give the gift of charm. You could win a $2,500 gift card to Charm Diamond Centers to help you express your love for that special someone. Pop the question with a stunning diamond, dazzle them with sapphire earrings, or present the perfect pendant to wear close to their heart. To enter, go to ctvatlantic.ca and follow the contest prompts, or you can scan that QR code on your screen right now. The contest runs until Saturday at 5, and the winner will be announced on December 19th. Don't forget, a little charm goes a long way. Good luck, everyone. Well, this time of year can be expensive for everyone, but it can be even more stressful for those living in poverty. As CTV's Avery McRae shows us, one community group in St. John aimed to take some of those pressures off with a store where everything was free.
The line stretched outside uptown St. John's historic stone church, with people eager to get inside for the city's most inexpensive shopping experience. Among them was Nora McGuire.
Me and my two oldest sons were suddenly evicted from a place we were renting for a long time last November, so we lost all our belongings. I was at the one last March, and it really helped.
The St. John Community Coalition's third annual free store featured more than 2,000 community-donated items, from winter coats, everyday clothing, books, and even some household items. No wallet was required, as everything for sale was registered for the sweet price of $0.
People can show up, they can get and take whatever they want, no questions asked. We don't ask for anybody's names or anything at all. There's no strings attached.
Community Coalition member Brandon Flynn says the event serves as a reminder to how much poverty is present within the city. He points out how everything from rent costs to grocery prices have skyrocketed over recent years, and people can't keep up.
People who don't necessarily have the essentials readily available to just live.
Not only did the store allow for people to get essentials for them and their families, but it also served as a chance to do some holiday shopping. Shoppers like Jason Colrin did a little bit of both.
There's a lot of stuff that gets thrown in the landfill, and it's other people's treasures. Like, I picked up a few great items for friends. It's just a wonderful experience.
For others like McGuire, a free of charge take what you can store can mean more than one may ever know.
It can help people get back on their feet a little bit without breaking the bank. I'm really happy to be here, and I think it's wonderful that they're doing this.
An event that wouldn't be possible without the thousands of donations made by fellow members of the community. Avery McRae, CTV News, St. John.
Really cool idea, great initiative, and I love how many people donated. Like, that was a lot of stuff.
That's what impressed me as well. I was like, wow, they got a really good turnout for their donations for that.
It's true. It's pretty awesome.
Might need it this winter as well. Continue to get conditions like this. Was a snowy start for many parts of the region today, accompanied by some periods of blowing snow as northwest winds kicked up. This snowy scene is at Kings Road in Sydney this afternoon. I'll have more on the weather after the break.
Welcome back to CTV News at 5. Kaylin Mitchell joins us now. And Kaylin, today was the day. I had to whip out that snow brush. Let's be real, Josh had to, but it was used on my car this morning.
Well, I mean, I guess that was one benefit of the type of snow that we did get. For the most part, it was fairly easy to brush off the cars.
Very true.
Because it was on the lighter side, though there was a fair amount that came down for parts of the Maritimes, including in and around St. John, New Brunswick, which is what we're looking at right here. And you can see enough that there was some slow driving on those slick roads, some work for the snow shovels. As we take a look at our sunrise and sunset times, it's an interesting weather system because it started off as a quick moving, rather weak low pressure system as it made its way out of the northeastern United States, but then began to develop and change over into basically a full-blown winter storm as it moved past the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia on its way towards Newfoundland. And so because of that transition, that's why we saw such widely varied conditions across the Maritime region today from it. Now, barometric pressure has fallen a little bit during the passage of that low pressure system. Again, it is on its way up towards the south coast of Newfoundland now, and there are parts of Newfoundland underneath winter storm warnings. Behind it, we're left in this northwest wind, which is tapping into some very cold air, which has been pooled up, as we've been talking about, going all the way back to last week and even the week before, around Hudson Bay. So anytime we get into a northwest wind, we're getting a fresh shot of that polar sourced air. And as that very cold air comes in over the relatively warm ocean waters, it produces the risk of snow squalls. And it does look like we have the start of some snow squalls right now through parts of Cape Breton. This band of snow, which you can kind of see is moving away from the Sydney area, that's on the back edge of the low pressure system itself. This snow, though, which is now starting to show up over parts of the Cape Breton Highlands, and this band that's coming in off the Gulf of St. Lawrence, kind of moving down through the Port Hawkesbury area, the Canso Causeway. That's those snow squalls setting up. So there might be some very poor visibility conditions right now if anybody's going to cross the Canso Causeway between the mainland and Cape Breton. And there will be a risk of some continuing snow squalls as we move through this evening and tonight. And that cold air continues to come down in those northwest winds. The risk for snow squalls is going to be highest around eastern Prince Edward Island, Pictou, Antigonish counties, and Cape Breton. Remember, for the north shore of mainland Nova Scotia, Cape Breton, you're underneath that snow squall watch. There's a lower chance, though, of a few snow squalls off of the Bay of Fundy and down around the southwestern coastline of Nova Scotia. By the start of the day for tomorrow, the risk of snow squalls should begin to diminish. It'll hold on longest into the morning around areas of Cape Breton, the higher terrain up into the Cape Breton Highlands, but even there expected to come down to basically flurries by the afternoon hours. Other parts of Nova Scotia tomorrow with a lower chance of an isolated flurry or two. Same thing goes for Prince Edward Island. Mostly sunny in New Brunswick. Winds change direction a little bit for Tuesday. They'll become westerly for the maritime region, sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour with some gusts between 20 and 40. It's going to be cold. Very cold tonight. Low temperatures, minus 15 to minus 19 for most of New Brunswick, down to around minus 12 for communities in Prince Edward Island. A lot of low temperatures tonight for Nova Scotia. Will fall into the range of around minus 10 to minus 15, minus 8 for a few areas on the coast. And so we start the day very cold for tomorrow, and it remains quite cold heading into the afternoon. High temperatures, minus 6 to minus 9 for New Brunswick, around minus 7 for Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island, and the high temperatures for Nova Scotia between minus 2 and minus 5, and that is below normal for early December by, in a lot of cases, few to several degrees. All right, let's take a look at our Weather Watcher for tonight. And tonight's Weather Watcher is coming in from 6-year-old Mackie Wasson Cormier from Moncton, New Brunswick. Mackie has sent us a drawing of throwing snowballs on a snowy day. Well, that's appropriate given the weather that we've had. And if you'd like to be one of our Weather Watchers, they can come into CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Katie.
Thank you, Kaylin. Well, we want to let folks know there is 1 week remaining in the St. John Police Force's annual Holiday in a Box campaign. The campaign supports 5 priority neighborhoods within the city with shoeboxes filled with everyday essential items. Residents can donate individual items or an entire filled shoebox that is then wrapped and handed out to those in need closer to Christmas. St. John Police Chief Robert Bruce points out the importance of ensuring adults also have a good Christmas.
When you talk to the priority neighborhoods about what that meant to people, like right now, when we first started, nobody knew about it, but now people are asking for them. Hey, I got a box last year, can I get a box? That's how much it means to them, right? And people break down and they're very emotional about receiving a box and knowing that St. Johners care.
Those looking to make any sort of donation can do so up until December 15th at the police station. Coming up next, a record-breaking year.
It's important to give back to your community, and Christmas Daddies just allows so many Maritimers to do that.
The 62nd annual Christmas Daddies telethon was a success. We've got the big moments and the big total next. It's a maritime tradition 62 years in the making. The Christmas Daddies telethon shattered last year's fundraising efforts, promising to support more people in need this year. CTV's Callum Smith wraps it all up for us.
Good morning and welcome to the 61st annual Christmas Daddies show right here on CTV.
And just like that, the Christmas Daddies telethon kicked off Saturday in Halifax.
It's just a tradition that we love here at CTV, and we're just so honored that you all are loving and supporting us. And all of these volunteers are here being busy. Musicians are donating their...
Well, that was last year's Christmas Daddies, which was also a huge, huge success. But this year was massive. It's always like every year you wonder, can things get bigger? Can they get better? And they can. So you were here for a few hours in the afternoon, flipping checks. having a time.
Sure
Some big
was.
checks, eh?
Watching you run between Steve and the band.
It was a lot.
Katie was moving.
But so much fun. Yeah, I put my feet up at the end of the day, that was for sure. But yeah, it was so worth it, so much fun. So we raised $750,000 so far this year. The total keeps climbing because more donations
As it normally does,
slowly
yeah.
keep coming in. And the other big thing is this 50-50 draw that we've started a few years ago. It's gotten bigger and bigger every year.
So that's not in yet?
So it's not in yet, and you can still buy tickets. So the 50-50 draw, so we have one for New Brunswick, one for PEI, and one for Nova Scotia, so 3 separate draws kind of divvied up by province.
Makes sense.
It ends at midnight tonight, so people can still get in on that draw. You can go to christmasdaddies.org to get your tickets. And this is exciting, too. If you want to know if you've won or not, you have to tune in to CTV News at 5 tomorrow evening, because we are going to announce the winner right here for each of those draws. I think Nova Scotia, the winner, is going to get around $100,000.
Ooh, that's
yeah,
big.
like it's huge. And again, that Christmas Daddies total is going to get that much larger as well once we have all those totals. So right now we're sitting at, like I said, $750,000. But tomorrow night we should have more of a legitimate.
The grand total is.
Here we go.
3/4.
So again, that's where we're sitting as of Saturday. But it's going to get a whole lot bigger. It was so much fun. So Classified performed, as you saw. We had the Bear McNeils there. So much great entertainment. And like you, Kaylin, so many staff here participating, flipping checks.
Yeah. And just like the snowfall amounts I was talking about earlier, that number is preliminary and unofficial. So
Yes, exactly. And you can help it. You can help it get even larger if you go get those 50-50 tickets. Oh, there
we
we
get to
are.
announce winners on the show, too. It's the
I know.
best.
It's
and
cool.
the generosity of Maritimes, just incredible. Blows me away every year.
Yeah, this was fun. We usually sing some Jingle Bells and
right at the end.
some Rudolph at the end there. But yeah, we want to thank everyone because it was you that made it possible. So thank you so much, and we'll have more tomorrow.
Awesome. I'll be back at 6 with more on the weather.